Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 700 Club. We're so glad you've joined us. Have a great show for you today. A victory for religious freedom could be coming in a major Supreme Court case. The legal battle involves whether or not churches should be able to get taxpayer money in grants just like other groups. And the case could have implications for religious groups across the country. Paul Strand brings us the story from the Supreme Court.
Missouri was giving out grants to help nonprofits, if they had playgrounds, put nice, soft, rubberized surfaces on them.
That made the playgrounds safer. Children were less likely to be injured. If they fell down, they were less likely to skin a knee or break a bone.
But when a church applied for such a grant, it kicked off a big state-church fight.
Not every controversy about playgrounds is child's play. For instance, this case heard by the Supreme Court involving whether children on a playground owned by a church have the same right to safety and protection as other kids.
Trinity Lutheran Church and its preschool certainly qualified for the grant, but then the state said, no way. Separation of church and state means no state money can go for anything to do with this organization. That's the position taken by Barry Lynn of Americans United for Separation of Church and State, who said a playground can be used by religion.
This preschool, with its playground attached, is an essential part of the ministry of this church and an essential part of its mission.
James Layton argued the case for Missouri.
Almost 200 years ago, the people of the state of Missouri, adopting language that finds its origin in the founding fathers in Virginia and elsewhere, decided that we were not going to tax people in order to give money to churches.
But Trinity Lutheran and its lawyer argued protecting kids on a playground isn't going to promote religion and shouldn't be discriminated against.
We aren't asking for special treatment. We are just asking not to be treated worse than everyone else. Whether you are a Jewish, Muslim, or Christian kid, or not religious at all, when you fall down on a playground, it hurts just as much at a religious preschool as it does at a non-religious school.
David Cortman of the Alliance Defending Freedom argued the case for Trinity Lutheran, saying Missouri discriminated against it just because it's religious.
The denial here was because who the organization was. So when you approach the government, why should it matter who you are? Why should it matter if you're a person of faith or not?
There's a broad concern among religious people in this country that we're becoming second-class citizens. All religious people are asking for in this country is equal treatment.
Alliance Defending Freedom's senior counsel Eric Stanley said the justices seem to find flaws in Missouri's hardline stance, like when Justice Alito questioned Missouri's attorney Layton.
He said, well, what about a Department of Homeland Security program that would harden schools against terrorism? Under the state of Missouri's policy, would that be allowed for church schools? And Mr. Layton said no, that would not be allowed.
The number of questions from a broad range of justices expose the silliness of the state's position here.
Travis Weber of the Family Research Council said the brand new justice, Neil Gorsuch, jumped in to clarify how religious rights were being wounded by Missouri's position.
I think Justice Gorsuch wanted to make the point that religious freedom here demanded equal protection for churches and non-churches, religious institutions, non-religious institutions. He made that point precisely, very poignantly at the right moment.
Religious liberties advocate Ralph Reed worried how Missouri's position against any aid for religious organizations could be used to prevent them getting vital services, like protection by police or firefighters.
So if essentially secular programs are allowed to be banned for people of faith simply because of their religious faith, that's a pretty bad precedent to set that could be used by governments at the state and local level to discriminate against religion in all kinds of other ways.
So the implications of this Trinity Lutheran playground case go way beyond playgrounds. Paul Strand, CBN News, reporting from the Supreme Court.
Thank you, Paul. Well, let's hope the Supreme Court makes the right decision in this scenario. It could open the door for more opportunities in the future so that everybody's on an equal playing field. Well, in other news, a Christian governor in Indonesia has lost his bid for re-election. John Jessup has that story from our CBN News Bureau in Washington. John?
That's right, Terry. Basuki Purnama, who's known by his nickname Ahok, was the Christian governor of Indonesia's capital, Jakarta. He was defeated by a Muslim and a former cabinet member. He'll become the new governor in October. The outcome of the race highlighted the country's religious and racial divides. Ahok is on trial for blasphemy, and many of the Muslims in Jakarta want him to be imprisoned or killed. But Ahok said he never intended to insult Muslims. Well, Israel has a warning for the world. Its defense officials say Syria still has up to 3 tons of chemical weapons. Lab tests show victims of the April 4th chemical attack were exposed to sarin nerve gas or similar banned toxin. The U.S. and Israel believe Syrian President Bashar al-Assad's weapons killed 90 people in Syria, including children. A senior Israeli military official says Syrian military commanders ordered the attack and Assad knew about it. Evidence also shows ISIS and insurgents have acquired some of these chemical weapons. Well, the nation of Venezuela is in an uproar as protest marches against the country's socialist leader have turned deadly, with several people already killed and the death toll rising. Mark Martin has that story.
Tens of thousands of protesters took to the streets of Venezuela's capital city of Caracas in what was called the mother of all marches against socialist President Nicolas Maduro. Anti-government protests are taking place across the country. A 17-year-old boy died after being shot in the head while walking near a protest. And the mayor of the western city of San Cristobal told the Associated Press a 23-year-old woman was killed by gunfire from pro-government groups surrounding protesters there. 8 people have died since the protest started 3 weeks ago. Venezuela's Supreme Court decided to take away the powers of the opposition-controlled Congress. That decision was reversed, but it was too late. The opposition was already inflamed.
We are the majority. We are many more. In this country, even if they don't want it, we will change it. We'll move forward with lots of strength, lots of conviction, lots of discipline, and above all, with a lot of peace.
The socialist country is in economic crisis, facing food shortages, triple-digit inflation, and widespread crime. And there are accusations the Maduro government is becoming a full-blown dictatorship. The government has put hundreds of protesters in jail and stood by as groups who support the government have violently attacked opposition members of Congress. U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson says the Trump administration is watching the situation closely.
Well, we are concerned that the government of Maduro is violating its own constitution and is not allowing the opposition to have their voices heard, nor allowing them to organize in a way that expresses the views of the Venezuelan people.
Mark Martin, CBN News.
Thanks, Mark. Fox News quickly moved ahead with an announcement of a new lineup for its top-rated primetime news show after it announced Wednesday that Bill O'Reilly won't be coming back. O'Reilly was the anchor of the cable network's most popular show, The O'Reilly Factor, for the last 20 years. O'Reilly lost his primetime spot after a New York Times story reported that he and Fox paid nearly $13 million in settlements over sexual harassment claims dating back to 2002. Fox investigated the claims before announcing he wouldn't be coming back. O'Reilly said it was disheartening that unfounded claims cost him his job, but that he wishes Fox News only the best. Well, Violet Moss Brown of Jamaica is the oldest living person in the world, and as Charlene Aaron reports, she says the secret to her longevity is her Christian faith.
At 117, Violet Moss Brown has been declared the world's oldest living person, something she says she never expected.
No, I didn't know that I would become this. I feel that I would be part of a long time ago. But thank God for whatever He has given to me. This is what God has given to me, so I have to take it long.
Affectionately known as Aunt V, Brown was born March 10, 1900. She says she attended church for most of her life and credits serving the Lord for her long life.
I've done nearly everything in the church. I spent all my time in the church, from a child right up.
And when it comes to food, this super centenarian says she eats just about anything, with a few exceptions.
Anything at all. Wipe my belly full. I don't eat pork, and I don't eat chicken, but I eat any other things. Greens, mutton, beef, fish. That's what I eat.
Meanwhile, Brown's eldest son is 97 years old, which could make him the oldest living person in the world, with a parent also alive. Charlene Aaron, CBN News.
Terry, clearly longevity runs in the family.
Clearly. I mean, that is pretty astonishing. But did you notice she was reading her birthday cards without glasses at all? I mean, that's really remarkable. We wish her the happiest of birthdays.